and welcome back to Breaking Bread with Bjorn. It's a beautiful sunshiny day here in Spokane, and it's time to bake another delicious loaf of bread. You've seen me bake a wine cooler into a loaf of bread, some fruit flavored cereal, and today's secret ingredient, I can't wait to show you. It came by way of a suggestion from the Get Well Cat himself, and this is something that is so Minnesotan, so true to my heart that I couldn't say no, and I have no idea what in the heck is going to happen when I bake Spam into a loaf of bread. As always, I'll walk you through the steps of what I've got going on. You'll see me mixing up the dough and all that fun stuff. But here's kind of my game plan. I'm going to dice it up, put some in the dough, and I'm going to top the loaf with Spam, maybe a little cheese. I don't know. I'll walk you through every step along the way, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. When you're making a high quality loaf of bread, you have to start off with the best ingredients to yield the best possible product. That's why I stand behind Wheat Montana all-purpose white flour. I use this for my bread, for my pies, for anything. It's the best, folks. Organic, non-GMO, made somewhat locally within a couple 100 miles. And since I'm using Wheat Montana white flour, I got to incorporate a little bit of the Wheat Montana whole wheat flour. You should be able to find this at your local grocer. And of course, Bob's Red Mill spelt and a little bit of rye, just for some texture and a little bit more flavor. Malden sea salt, a gift from the Get Well Cat himself. There won't be a ton of it in this recipe because Spam has a fair amount in it. My well-fed sourdough starter. This thing is primed and ready to go. Let's see how it's bubbling in there. Some nice webbing, that's what we're looking for. And my last secret ingredient, of course, my hand-spun, handmade clay bowl. Let's mix this thing up. Bread has been mixed, the Spam has been cooked up and incorporated. You saw all that in the video. I decided not to put the salt in it because when I tried a little bit of the Spam, I remembered how salty it is. So this was all mixed up yesterday. It's been folded a few times, proofed overnight in the fridge. Let's take a look at what this looks like. So it's got a beautiful rise on it, and now it's time to shape these loaves and put the topping on them. Here's what I got for an idea, since I'm doing 2 loaves. One of them is, of course, going to be topped with just some Spam. And the other one, with the old standby, some delicious shredded Tillamook cheddar. I can't wait to see how these things turn out, so let's jump on into forming them and putting them in the baskets to proof for another 6 to 8 hours. Alright, the loaves have baked, everything is done, and it turned out pretty good. We're going to cut into these in just a second and try them out, but this was kind of a tale of 2 loaves of bread. I got 2 different bakes and learned something from it. This is the first loaf that I did. It turned out pretty good. I did it in the clay cooker and I topped it with the cheese and the Spam was in there, but it collapsed in on itself. I don't think it was a proofing issue. I've done this a couple times with cheese on top and I keep getting this collapse. So I experimented on the second loaf, which was just baked on a pizza stone in the oven, and I added some cheese at the very end to let it bake on there, and I got a nice round crown to it. I'm really excited to cut into both of these and see what they look like and give it a try. And now the moment of truth. I'm gonna need a second bite. It's actually pretty solid. It's not dry. I just needed a drink of water because I had so much bread in my mouth. But the texture is nice. You can taste the Spam. Probably could have even gotten a little bit more in there. But you know what? I've got an idea for this bread that I'm going to try out tomorrow for breakfast. So let's take a little break and film it and come back for that. All right. It's been a whole night. I had a chance to think about this one. And this bread, like I said yesterday, turned out pretty good. It's tasty, but I got an idea. I, of course, got a couple slices of bread, my trusty Tillamook cheddar, and a couple farm fresh eggs. I think you know where this is going. I'm going to make an egg and cheese sandwich on the Spam bread, cooked up in the cast iron pan that I stole from the Get Well cat, oh, so many years ago. Let's cook this up and see how it tastes. Right, the sandwiches are cooked up. Everything looks pretty good. I forgot that I need to add one more ingredient to this. Anytime you're having an egg sandwich, you got to put a little bit of the hot sauce on there. Cheese is on the bottom. All right, let's try this thing out. I think it's going to be good. One more bite for good measure. That is a perfect use for Spam bread. These were made with delicious farm fresh eggs that I get from a farmer for trading some bread for him. The Tillamook cheddar works good on there. The saltiness in the Spam, kind of that bacon effect. This is excellent. I really didn't know where this loaf was going to go. I figured if all else fails, of course, I could have a peanut butter sandwich with it. I think egg and cheese is a better way to go with it. I'm thrilled. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Breaking Bread with Bjorn. I'm going to be back sooner than later with another episode. Who knows what I'll put in there. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. And if you feel like you have a good suggestion for a loaf, go ahead, slide on into my DMs and let me know. And keep your eyes open for other stuff coming up related to Breaking Bread with Bjorn. And most of all, if you enjoyed it, keep watching, but help out by sharing this thing and telling friends so we can grow this. Thank you so much. Until next time, be kind to one another.